So first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know this must be a flurry for you as a teenager. So I couldn't do as a teenager what you're doing now. So I think that's amazing for
Oh,
starters.
thank you.
So I'm going to lead off with a very difficult question. I want you to buckle up for this one. All right.
All right.
So for tonight, my kids wanted a pizza. Got half cheese. I got half hamburger, onion, and mushroom. Miles, what's your ideal pizza?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am vegetarian,
Okay.
so there aren't as many options available. I like to spice it up a little. Like, my dad actually has recently gone on a pizza making journey, and his latest obsession has been throwing caramelized onions on everything, and they're very, very good.
God bless your father. Yes, I totally agree. So go ahead. I'm interrupting, but go ahead.
Oh no, this
But
concludes
just
my
just onions. Like just you want to go onions, nothing else, nothing
yeah.
mushrooms or
Yeah,
peppers
definitely
or
put mushroom on there. Get your protein. Yeah.
yeah. I got to tell you, your dad has it. Let me ask you. So like you've been through everything, and it's just like thank you for this. Like I really appreciate it because I know how much you're experiencing right now. How has your role affected or changed your life, Miles? As Matty, I should say.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. In my personal life, there hasn't been all too much. I like most people in the world haven't come up to me and go, "Whoa, you're Matty Clements." There's an occasional person or two who's caught on, but I'd say the largest takeaway is my friends now having a whole bunch of gifts they can send at me.
That's great.
It's not been the biggest change.
So let me ask you this, Miles. Are you so you don't have to tell me like where, but like are you going to a public school and then you do the acting like in addition to that? Are you homeschooled? Because I've interviewed tons of kids that are actors and it's always a mixed bag. What is that with you?
Yeah, I'm a full public schooler. I'm not doing any of that homeschooling.
Yeah.
There definitely have been some challenges with trying to balance that and all this acting stuff. Like when we were actually filming Welcome to Derry, I had this whole debacle trying not to be a truant with going out for all these months to go film that. But it all got sorted out. We got our school hours on there.
Miles, I got to tell you, like, so I work with kids at my other job, and and I get where kids come from. I know how hard it is for them.
Yeah.
You're telling me, like, when you go back to wherever you are, and they watch that first episode, and they see how unbelievable you are and were, there's no like, hey man, you're awesome. Like, there's none of that. Like, I think if no one's saying that to you, I feel like, especially at your age, which is maybe high school, I'm guessing later middle school. But my God, Miles, you were so terrific in that. No one's saying unbelievable things to you.
No, that definitely exists, but
okay, good.
Yeah, that's more of people I already know.
Gotcha.
The part of the performance, like how that's all gone. It hasn't changed too many interactions. I'm still
I got you. I got you. Many of your classmates, sorry, let me change that. Castmates talk about how fun the scenes were to shoot. Is it ever stressful, especially in your character with episode 1? Oh my God. Like you were so good, man. Like you're rocking that. And there's no stress there. Like we're gonna dive into a little bit more of what I'm talking about. But on your end, I get Clara's saying it's fun and McCall saying it's fun. But is it ever stressful for you?
I think most of the time it's just a whole bunch of fun. Like in the car scene, I loved being there with all the other actors in there. There was a great rapport between takes. But I definitely felt that when the camera's actually rolling, you actually have to be in character. And like you have to get into the fear of that, you have to get into the breathing of that. Like I could definitely feel that stress getting to me. Which I guess is just part of the process of getting it to the character. But there was some issue with that. But overall, it was pretty good. It was a fun thing to shoot.
So I haven't published this yet. Great answer, by the way, Miles. I haven't published this yet. but last night I interviewed Mark McRae, who had
Oh,
nothing but wonderful things to say about you. He was in a glow about your ability in that car, which was one of the most unbelievable scenes I've ever seen. How'd you like that scene? Like, I joked with him. I said that was like the evil Griswolds. I don't know if you've ever seen Christmas Vacation.
I have not.
No, oh, you're in for a ride. But yeah, so like
Yeah.
just talk about that scene, the people in that scene, and like I gotta imagine you guys had to be close when the camera was off. It had to be so much fun for you guys.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. When
Yeah.
we weren't actively pretending to be throwing mutant babies at each other, we we definitely had fun between takes. We were always joking around about all that. Like we went boating on Lake Ontario.
Oh, cool! How
Like
good
yeah,
is
we
that?
we definitely knew each other.
Yeah, yeah. How good is that? Let me ask you this. So when it comes to Matty,
Yeah.
I didn't research this because I was. This is one of the 3 or 4 questions I was dying to ask just you. What is the significance of the pacifier? Did they tell you that?
They did, yeah. When I first got there, Andy sits down with all his actors. He gets the character. He had his whole little monologue from his heart about who this little boy is. And there was some collaboration on that. But basically, what I feel and interpret, the core of this is Matty has always been in this abusive situation. Like, he's always had the presence of his father. His character is very inspired by Eddie Corcoran. Like, there's all of this
Mm,
tension there. He never really had that safety. Like, he
mm.
had his mother who's looking out for him, but she was generally pretty ineffectual. And so, when he was young, this is something that he'd resort to just as a form of escapism. And as he grew, he never was able to leave that because he always was in a situation he needed to escape. Like, this is the same reason he's off at the movie watching Music Man. He's always just trying to get out of his situation somehow.
Yeah, that's a really great answer, and I have to say, like, the one thing I wanted to ask you, and I probably should have saved this to the end, but I'm gonna throw it at you
Okay.
now. Um, but I have to say, I really, in my heart, and there's a lot of talk on the internet with this. And if you can't answer this, please do not. Like, I'm just saying
Okay.
this. There is a large faction of this. First of all, the people online love your performance, but a lot of them seem to believe that you are. And if you look above your head on my screen, that is right before you come through the movie theater scene, which was, oh, as a grown man, I got to tell you, I was legitimately frightened. When you come through, that you might be Pennywise. Like, what do you say to those fans? Do you want to say keep watching? What do you want to say to those people?
Yeah, I don't think I can comment too much on here, but yeah, they definitely know what's happening with the origin of all these characters and where everything's going here. So I think if you keep watching the show, this will be pretty easy to understand what's
Yeah.
actually happening. Maybe it is. Who knows?
Yeah. So I have to say, when I talked to Clara, she said one of the toughest scenes she shot, impactful, was when Maddie's talking through the drain. Obviously, you're in some pretty awesome scenes: the movie theater scene, the drain, the car accident. Is there one that you're partial to, Miles, that you feel like, oh wow, this is like a wow, this is hard to shoot, but I'm also really proud of it. Like, is there one of those for you?
I think that for me was the car scene. Like, that
Yeah.
was the one that I could look at the end and say, but damn, they managed to pull like their own little short film out of these 10 minutes. They got this whole story going here. I'd say that was, at least within Maddie's little arc here, the the most impactful sequence we filmed.
Miles, are we sure that the entire family and Maddie are passed away, or is that something we need to keep watching?
Mm. Yeah, that's another realm where I can't be talking about that. They definitely they definitely left it so people could question. They have the pacifier and then they leave whatever Maddie's doing. But yeah, you'll have to keep watching to see if that's going to turn into anything.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah, Miles, you are amazing so far. Like, I have a few more questions. Like, you're doing so great. Let me ask you this. So above you, I talked about the time where you come from the movie theater screen, which I love. That smile they do with you and the scarred smile, is that CGI? Like, I genuinely, it's so good. I don't know. Or is that you? Or is that, what is that?
no, That's CGI.
Okay, all right.
I remember when we were rehearsing the scene, Andy was talking about how great Bill Skarsgård was and how he could do all these things and he could like make this smile and he could make his eyes do all that, and then just that slight disappointment at now having to deal with me, who he has to throw all the CGI on top of. I don't think he intended, but I felt like the slightly less favorite child.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, man. Like, if you're not proud of yourself after that first episode, like you should be. Listen to me, man. I've interviewed so many people. I'm not saying I'm nobody from nowhere, but what you've done is so amazing through that first episode and two. Like, you have to be. I hope you're proud of yourself because you've done a phenomenal job. I really hope you are.
I I definitely am.
Good.
I don't usually like watching my performances, but I think largely because there were all these people here. There was the acting coach. There was Annie Muschietti. Like they can get performances like that out of. I don't want to say anyone, but they can get that. And so I feel like we made something really good there.
You made something pretty awesome. What do you love most about Matty, Miles?
Who? I think I love just his little like Tiny Tim. I think I've said this before, but his little Tiny Tim innocence that's under all of this horrible situation he's in. Like he's the perfect sad little kid who's always just so driven and pure in all of these scenes, and they had to go and kill him. Or maybe
Well, that's
not,
that's what hurts me most about him is like his family life is horrible. Then he gets into the car ride from hell, like the evil Griswolds, right? And then it's like I don't know, like my heart broke for him, but I was like that's horrible. But again, Miles, like what you did was amazing, and I hope you see that. Like it was just so good to see you do that scene, and I don't know, I love watching that scene unfold. If it wasn't for that first episode, I think the first episode set up the rest of the season. And from what people were saying after that first episode dropped, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And did you feel that as an actor? Did you feel like, wow, people are kind of hooked on this? They love the performance.
I definitely got some sense of that. Like I will forever have that sort of nervous anxiety in me. But for this, I can't naturally gauge how things will look in the final edit, how well people will connect to them, because it's such a different experience looking at things after I'd filmed them. But I was really glad to see that when this was all out, people actually did connect to the story we were telling with that.
Miles, how do you process the script? Is it mom and dad going on lines with you? Is it Andy? Is it the coach? How's that work? Because I was watching a clip of Black Phone 2. Who's the actor? I can't think of him right now. Oh my God. He was talking about how he goes through different things, and he has like little books for each day he has to go through lines. How do you go through those lines on a daily basis? Who's involved? How's that work, Miles?
Yeah, so
Ethan Hawke, by the way, was the guy. I can't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. My main process starts with getting whatever version of the script we have, looking over that, and then there's my initial little actor look of the very basic what is going on internally. Before I've gotten any of these, I already know who the core of the character is, but I need to figure out how this is applying here, and then from there I'm getting into what am I going to be feeling during the scene, what sort of physicality I'll have to get into, and then I have my rough little thing, and then I go to the acting coach for every scene, Ben Perkins, who just gets his little chisel out and finds all these
chips away at what you.
Yes, he does. He finds all these techniques and just zones in to this little performance, and then we go and film, and then we have Andy over here just going take after take, and just building up on top of that this absolute statue of a character. It's a gradual process, and it is very heavily helped by everyone else in the process.
So, Miles, with all due respect to all those people, like
Yeah.
I totally respect it. When I watch you on screen, before you're picked up by the evil Griswolds, I feel like watching you, you're genuinely disturbed. Like that's a you ability. That's a you thing, which is pretty amazing. Like I feel like this kid has been through hell, and we only see about 3 minutes before he's picked up. but it's like it's kind of amazing, like what you were able to accomplish there. And yeah, I just feel like you need to know that. I feel like that's like a really important part of this whole interview and this whole story. And I get it's a collaborative effort. Listen, I get all of that.
Yeah.
But you did a lot of this stuff on your own. You did a lot of the heavy lifting on your own, and that needs to be recognized.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So I love this question. I wish I asked it earlier. Let me ask you, if Derry was a real place, and all the stuff we know is come to fruition. We know all these things. It's as evil as it is. Would you stay there for a month for $1 million?
I assume back during a cycle while Pennywise.
Yes, like a random month. Like it's got the evil, it's got the awful adults, which every adult I feel like in this town is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like terrible people. Like, would you stay there for a month for $1 million?
I think, maybe Miles Ekhardt would, because I feel like I could take in all of this knowledge, having read it and knowing all this stuff. I'm probably being very overconfident here, but I feel like I could go in for a month, find 6 friends, think really hard about a space turtle until he shows up, and then, the longer I talk about this, the more doomed this plan seems. But I think I'll stick with it. I think with the knowledge I have leading into it, I could go through Pennywise. I could go through Derry with Pennywise in it for a month.
Yeah.
Without any major damage.
What Miles? One of the heartbreaking things of the show, and I have 2 young kids, and so and I told you I work with kids, and like when I watch you, this was what 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm gonna guess 13, 14, in that ballpark, 12 maybe even.
Yeah, there's someone like 14ish.
Yeah, so you're just amazing in what you were doing. I have to say, I just feel like what Pennywise or this entity does to these kids, it's just heartbreaking. Like, I just feel like what your character went through, yes, it's the gore, it's the horror, it's all of that. But it's like this poor child is going through hell, and, Pennywise does prey, or the entity does prey on, kids, because they're so vulnerable, they're so open-minded, they're so like these wonderful beings. I don't know. I just feel like that makes this show so much harder to watch. Do you feel any of that?
I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
I think that connects back a little to, I don't know if I can get to as direct of a connection, because I look in and I just see all these actors who I was living with for months, and I have so much else I think of before I can get to that core story. But I think there's definitely something there of just all of these poor little traumatized kids. That it's just growing the traumas of it and building up.
Matty, some people brought up Reddit on I never noticed this, but some people said something about dubbing. Did you pick up on that? Is that something you've heard before? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. So it wasn't dubbed, but I was, as I said, I was like 14, I'm 15 for some of the ones we shot, and so I have not physically outgrown the character, but I definitely outvoiced him. And so they did all that, and I think in the original trailer we still have my voice. We have that very deep anywhere but Derry that I'm doing, but in the final show they've gotten my voice, and they've done whatever magic they did in chapter 2 to get the performance, and I'm sure they're doing something more complicated than pitching it up, but they're making it sound younger somehow. So it's still me under there, but they've done some filmmaking magic to make me sound more like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. When you're 2 more questions, Miles, and thank you for all this. I appreciate it. So when you're in the car ride from hell, what's the creepiest moment? Looking at the boy who has got the side eye that looks like him. Is it wiping liver blood on your face, which I still can't get past? Like, what is the most traumatic moment? If you had to speak for Matty, what is that?
Well, I think for him, that is definitely the biggest moment there, which is when we actually have the friggin' mutant baby coming out. Because there was still a little plausible deniability. He was
right.
But then there's just a monster there, and we see that in the scene where he's after that he's completely left. He's completely in the door, trying to hide from everything. That killed me.
Yeah. So Miles, I want to show you something, and I think I have.
Okay.
I hope I have it here because I'm going to be so embarrassed if I don't. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see here. So so you see like two babies there, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm wondering, are those like, is it twins? Like, is it two or is it one?
Yeah, those were me and Jack. Jack would go. We called them Dean and Julius, the two heads. I don't think there was much deeper meaning other than, holy frick, that looks a lot scarier. It's more of an abomination.
Yeah, it's insane. So listen, like, thank you for all of this. What do you want to say about Matty moving forward? Whatever you wanted to say.
Oh man, I love this character. He is the saddest little arc. Justice for my boy. They shouldn't have done all that in the car. Hopefully and maybe someday he might show back up. Maybe he's alive. Maybe he'll come back and he'll be perfectly fine and we'll all have a happy ending.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Man, thank you for this. I really appreciate it. And like, yeah, you really like. I've watched TV and movies forever. Like, I can't get over how amazing you've been. And thank you for this.